Hello and once again welcome to this week's Tech News. This week we'll take a look at whether Nintendo Switch 4K is a thing or not, how cryptocurrency is doing in China, and more, so do stick around. And before we move on, as always, do subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on when we upload. It won't be long until the new Nintendo Switch OLED will be on sale, so it makes sense if the next generation Switch won't be coming out anytime soon after that. Despite that, Bloomberg reported that game developers from at least 11 companies, including Zynga, are making 4K games with the software toolkit they obtained from Nintendo. Hearing that, you might think that the 4K version of the Switch will be coming sooner than later, until you hear what Nintendo has to say about this. On Twitter, Nintendo addressed this by denying the report from Bloomberg, as well as restating that they have no plans for any other new models besides the OLED version. So, could Bloomberg just be wrong about this? Maybe, maybe not. But from Nintendo's perspective, this needed to be done because if they didn't address the report, people might think twice about buying the OLED Switch, when a newer, more powerful model will be coming out soon anyway. But maybe Nintendo didn't really have anything planned for the next Switch. So, what do you think? Tell us in the comments down below if you think that this is just Nintendo trying to save the Switch OLED sales, or if they genuinely are telling the truth. Now, we know that China gets pretty strict when it comes to anything that involves cryptocurrency, so this piece of news might not be that surprising. Alibaba, which is basically China's biggest e-commerce platform, announced that they'll be banning the sale of everything related to crypto mining. The ban will be put into effect on the 8th of October, and in addition, by the time, transactions involving Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other cryptocurrencies will also be banned. And it's not like they had a choice in this, since this decision was made after People's Bank of China announced that crypto-related transactions are illegal. China doesn't seem to mess around when it comes to stuff like this, since they're cracking down on any hardware and/or software, as well as posts and videos that could be used to get those cryptos. This kinda makes sense, with China probably having a goal in making their own virtual currency, e-cny or digital yuan, to be the only virtual currency around. Now for something to look forward to. Lenovo had just announced the Legion 9000K 2022 on Weibo. While the post didn't mention the PC to be using Intel processors, it does mention 12th gen CPUs, so that could very well mean that it'll be featuring Alder Lake architecture, which also means that it'll be the first gaming PC from Lenovo to do so. The Legion 9000K 2022 will support DDR5 memory, PCIe 5.0 and RTX 3080 Ti. Although the price hasn't been set, IT Home reports that the PC will be available starting from 29th of October, the same date on when Intel Alder Lake as processors will be available for pre-order. Before we move on, we'd like to divert your attention to TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is a browser extension to help you on your endeavors for content creation in YouTube. TubeBuddy has a bunch of tools that make it easier for you to manage your channel, like the upload checklist, thumbnail generator, comment filters, and more. It's free to use on Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, and Microsoft Edge, so for content creators out there, do give it a try. Now, let's get back to the video. A couple of months ago, there were some rumors on ASUS teaming up with Noctua to design graphics cards. The rumor did have some basis back then, since it was listed in the Eurasian Economic Commission website. And now, it might just be official, as ASUS Vietnamese sales representative had confirmed the existence of GeForce RTX 30 series graphics card featuring Noctua cooling solution in the ASUS ROG Vietnam Facebook page. Included in the same post are the pictures of RTX 3070 08G Noctua, which features Noctua's signature brown and beige color, 2 Noctua fans, a backplate, and a massive fin heatsink that features several heat pipes. There are 5 display outputs, which include 2 HDMI and 3 DP ports. The card is also powered by dual 8-pin connectors. The sales representative states that the card will be sold soon for a price of around 26 million dong, which is over $1,000 US. There is no confirmation of this in other regions though, so do keep an eye out on this. Seeing as how Samsung Galaxy S20 had an FE or Fan Edition model, no one would blame you to think that the Galaxy S21 lineup would do the same. But unfortunately, that might not happen. Samsung was expected to launch the Galaxy S21 FE at the August Unpacked event, but it was eventually postponed to a standalone launch in October, But it turns out that that also might not be the case, according to a South Korean report, which states that Samsung had cancelled the arrival entirely. It's also stated that they're reviewing the smartphone launch itself, so whether they would hit the market at all or not is still up in the air. Now, the bad news for Galaxy S21 FE doesn't stop there, as Samsung had also removed the support pages for the phone. The support pages were there in the first place because they anticipated for the announcement of the phone, and look where we are now. It seems that if you delay a product too much, it may turn irrelevant soon enough. Who knew? Now, to wrap this up, we have one last piece of news. During the Code conference that was just recently held, there was an interview with AMD CEO Lisa Su, where she discussed about the ongoing chip shortage that has been going on since the pandemic began. And according to her, the shortages will, unfortunately, continue on throughout 2021, as, in her own words, the pandemic has taken demand to a new level, which should also be the case for rival companies such as Nvidia and Intel. But that's not all, as Lisa Su also expects that the first half of 2022 to be likely tight in supply, although it should bounce back in the second half of the year. That might sound somewhat uplifting, but remember, that means that we've still got more than half a year to carry on through the chip shortage, so not much of a good news for those wanting to get their hands on cheap GPUs anytime soon. And that's all we're covering for this week. If you feel like you've gained something from this video, do leave a like. And come back next time when we'll report more tech news for the week. Again, just subscribe to us if you don't want to miss out on that. And with that, we'll see you next time. So until then, take care.